Welcome back to the shop. I'm going to give you just a quick rundown of what I've been doing to the WPL 36-3.
First, let's start by getting this thing unboxed. When you get the truck out of the package, you'll notice that the trailer is in two halves. You will have to put that together. The truck does come fully assembled, and you'll find the 7.4 volt battery in the engine compartment. We can't test drive it without first charging it, so let's plug it in here and plug it in there. Out of the box, the suspension is stock, so it's naturally very springy. The fifth wheel comes with this great spring-loaded latch, so that way you can easily quick connect your trailer. The interior is pretty detailed, like most WPL models, although it's only one color. For me, what sets this truck apart at this price point is this wonderful trailer. It measures approximately 21 inches for now, and it very easily hooks up to the truck. Now that the battery is charged, let's get this thing out on the road and see what it can do bone stock. One of the many comments I've read online about this particular truck is its lack of power. Even though I don't have it fully loaded and it is a fully charged battery, it's moving along pretty good. This trigger for the ramp is also a really nice feature. Backing up is also not an issue, as you can just pull that trailer right where you need it to drop off your equipment. Speaking of hauling equipment, let's see if this sucker can actually haul an excavator. Loading up the excavator was a bit sketchy because it is so much wider than the trailer, but at the end of the day, we got her done. Once we were loaded up, it was time to give this thing a test run, a proper test run. Now, I didn't want to overload it because I literally just unboxed the thing, but after a few seconds, I was able to get up to speed with absolutely no issues. Now, this is sped up here, but I was able to finally get this thing up to speed and even try some obstacles. It cleared this threshold with no problem, and even went through the gravel of my driveway with it barely even slowing down. So I don't know if it's a quality control issue or not, but other videos I've seen had this thing pretty much stalling out as soon as you got started. Now, this was the one time I had a problem. As you can see, I was going up a small hill onto the sidewalk, and the only thing that really stopped me was I got hung up on the bottom of the trailer because of the weight of the excavator. Now, I haven't mentioned it yet, but the excavator weighs 5.2 pounds. So when I load this thing onto this unreinforced trailer, I'm losing about a half an inch of ground clearance when fully loaded. I plan on fixing this through the course of the upgrade. Now we've seen what it can do stock, it's time to tear this thing down and get on with this build.
What I thought I'd do differently with this video, instead of doing a step-by-step, I'm just kind of giving you the broad strokes. At this point, I've been building for almost 2 solid weeks, so let's just go through a real quick rundown of where we're at. So first things first, here's the actual truck. It's turning out pretty gosh darn good in my opinion. I did install the metal bumper. I had to sand it down. I started with 180 grit and worked my way all the way up to 2000 to give it a nice polish to make it more reflective. I did install lights where the screws for the winch would normally go. I've added solid metal chrome accents. This is all one piece of steel that I have bent and shaped to the truck. Back here is the stock bumper with some modifications. I got rid of the spare tire and whatever canister goes here, and I put in a custom handmade toolbox. We do have the 2-speed gearbox that's right in here, along with the 370 motor with the servo for changing gears. It all works. I did wire it all up. When it comes to the cab, I got rid of the roof rack and filled in those holes, and I added LED tracers to the top instead of the stock painted ones. I also filled in the body holes here for the stock air cleaner. Over here for the searchlight, it's filled in. That way we have a cleaner look. I really wasn't a fan of those accessories, so I just pitched them. I just left the holes for the rear view mirrors, which I will install later. Okay team, so it's been a couple of days. Let me just give you a quick progress report. Over here I've started to paint the ramps for the trailer. Trailer is painted a metallic blue. I'm starting to do some chrome accents. I got chrome accents on the hood. Started taking apart the trailer and got some of the bits color accented. Mirrors are painted. And for the trailer, I do have these craft sticks stained that will go, and they'll go in there like that. I kind of have to hold it. So that'll be a nice stark contrast. And I am going to start putting also wood reinforcement there, just like on a low boy. That's over here. The glue is setting. I need to get the angles right, and I need to get it stained. All right, guys, so it's been about a week since my last update. I've been working really hard on it, but let me give you a quick rundown of where we're at. I was able to get the trailer completely sealed with a top coat, and now I'm working on coloring the outer 4 wheels. I got the deck on. I got a little bit of livery on there. I got it wired up. I just have to finish sealing the gooseneck, getting that done. The wiring has run into a snag. I was at my dad's today. He helped me out because I accidentally wired everything in series rather than in parallel. So I had a lot of volt loss across each bulb. So I had to go ahead and get that fixed up. And then when we plugged in the front lights, which are the truck's original front lights, my new side marker lights, and the floods, we popped the front headlights, so I got to get those rewired. It's a little stuff like that that's been getting in the way and causing me no amount of frustration. It's been 1 step forward, 2 steps back. I know that's how the hobby goes and everything. I really wanted this thing done for almost 2 weeks. It just hasn't been happening, and we're getting close to the holiday season. Family takes priority. I'm just hoping I get this thing finished. Well, okay, guys, it actually has been about 2 weeks since my last update. Had to move everything down here to the basement to my kids' crafting table because right now in my area it's just too darn cold to be outside in an unheated garage, and I've been painting. It was even snowing not that long ago, so I've had to move things indoors, but I think we're finally able to move into the final stages of putting this thing together. Putting a finish on the paint to make sure it doesn't chip and crack. I've been using polyacrylic to do that on almost all of my custom RCs for years. I've never had a problem with it. It does create a dull sheen. The trailer is now measuring at 39 inches long. I believe in the original model it is like 20 some inches. I did put 3 extensions in it that are 3D printed by another YouTuber. I can put a link for that down below, as well as fenders, again, link below, to make the thing a little bit more car friendly. I did put everything back together, and as I was screwing things back together, I went right through one of the wires that make the lift gate go up and down, and yeah, I gotta fix that. For now, I'm not going to. It's too cold to be outside. The thing's too big to work on down here. And while I was putting it together, I was having a ton of fitment issues, so I had to manhandle it to get the thing back together, and I ended up damaging the top coat. So I got to wet sand that, refinish that. Currently working on waiting for the gear shifter to dry. I've chromed the rod. I put white on the ball of the shifter, and I'm gonna paint the boot of the shifter. I'm gonna paint that brown to kind of match the accent colors. I have been finishing up the interior as well, so I went with a 2-tone leather look for the interior. I've got the dashboard, which I did in the same color as the trailer, with white like the rest of the truck, with just chrome accents around the instrument clusters. For the interior door panels, I did the 2-tone paint to also match with the interior, so that way it looks a little bit more snazzy. I've also got the front end wired up. I do have some chrome accents around the lights, and I also made the light fixtures white as well, just to give it some kind of pop. So yeah, just some final things to wrap up, and then finally gonna get this thing together, and finally gonna get this thing together, and finally gonna get this thing together, and finally gonna get this thing together. Misfortune strikes again. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So I am very slowly trying to get this truck back together, trying to take my time, doing it well, doing it right. I got the deck back on, we got toolbox on, I'm trying to cable manage all of my wires here, even got the brand new circuit board on because I broke the last one. Almost got everything together, figured out the front end, kind of, sort of, not really. Trying to figure out how everything's going to fit under here. You can tell it's rubbing, but then lo and behold, a single wire hangs out from under the truck, and it's the positive wire for the brake lights out of that clamp, and I have no way of clamping that back in there. So my only option, after perusing Amazon, which didn't have any wiring available for the B series, I had to go to the WPL website, which is still a fantastic site, great customer service. I had to order a whole new light set from them just for the little plastic end that I need so I can resolder these back together. But because it comes from China, it's probably going to take a good 2 weeks to get here, and it's already a week and a half till Christmas. So I'm already at my wit's end because it's going to be another at least 2 weeks so I can work on this thing again. And it is now officially a month, roughly a month, until cabin fever.